I think we're ready, Chair Holliday.
Alrighty, I was trying to see who was on the phone, but I don't see a name.
Chair, it's
Oh,
Jenny. Jenny's trying to log on via phone. I just wanted to let you know. She texted me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right, well, let's get started and Jenny can join us when she's able. So let's see, let's call to order this Tuesday, August 24th meeting of the Senior Advisory Commission. And it is 1:31. So we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
What?
What?
What is that?
Who said it?
Who's doing that?
If we can have everyone mute.
Mute their,
Yeah, yes, and I'll do roll call and just raise your hand. Barbara Ebright. Deborah Langley. Here. Jenny. May or may not be here. Karen Adams. Raise your hand, Karen. I'm here. Patrick is here. Thank you. And Willie. Okay, so we're just missing Jenny. Hopefully she can get signed in, right? There's also Nona. Nona is our alternate.
Okay.
As well as BJ. BJ, there you are. Okay, so John, do I need to set somebody or we wait for Jenny?
You're on mute, John.
thank you, Anne Marie. Jenny, are you on? Can you unmute and identify yourself?
Jenny is on. For some reason, she can hear us, but
I think she's on mute. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
If we're confident she's here and listening, then I think we'll count that as present.
all right. Okay, let's see if we have the approval of the agenda for August 24th today. May I have a motion to accept the agenda for August 24th?
I move to approve the agenda of August 24th, 2021.
Okay, and a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, and motion to approve, everybody, raise your hand. Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carried. On to the approval of the minutes of June 22nd. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look it over. And make a
Okay, I
motion.
move.
Pardon? Everybody okay?
Oh.
Okay, so have a motion to accept the minutes for June 27th meeting.
I'll do that. I'll do
Barbara?
that.
All right,
Yeah.
and have a
I move.
second? Second,
I
motion?
second.
Thank you, Deborah. All in favor? Raise your
I
hand. Thank you. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Public forum. Oral public comments may be provided live during the Senior Advisory Commission meeting by first registering for the Zoom meeting in advance by providing the email address not disclosed and a name. And the link is given below. John, do we have anybody?
No, Chair. Yeah, we don't have any attendees waiting to speak during the public forum.
All right, thank you. So we have announcements from our Chief Hernandez? You're on mute, Chief.
Oh, we're having some technical difficulties there. We're
Oh,
connecting. Thank you. So
welcome.
good afternoon, Chair Holliday, Commissioners, and Councilmember Chua. Jared Hernandez, it's good to be back with you guys again. I think the last time was maybe 3 months ago that I was here, and I think one of my captains was here in my place in that time in between. So the only things that I really have to update with you with is National Night Out was on August 3rd. And I think I ran into several of you during one of those events. We had contact with right around 1,200 attendees total between all of the parties, which is really good. We only ended up with 7 cancellations. We originally had 42 parties. And so that was really nice. There's a lot of participation and a lot of community support that was out there. We had our city manager's office folks were out there, council was out there. There were some representatives, just to put in perspective of how active Milpitas was compared to some of the other cities. Otto Lee's office, supervisor from Santa Clara County, they went to 75 parties in total. 37 of those parties were in Milpitas, and they went to 3 different cities. So that really goes to show the community involvement that we have here in this city and the interest that the folks that live here have in keeping their community safe and just in having good relationships with their neighbors. So that was really, really exciting for us, especially in a COVID environment. Recently, the police department put out a public safety announcement related to crimes of opportunity. So if you follow us on social media or on Nextdoor, you may have seen that video. And the whole intent for us is when you talk about crime management, there's several different components to it. You have crime prevention, you have deterrence, and then you also have enforcement. And really all of those things need to work together to maintain the most safe city that we can. And so the whole intent of the public safety advisement was really to give people some pointers and some reminders about how to keep themselves safe, which would go to the prevention piece of our crime strategy. If you hadn't had a chance to see the announcement, I speak about being aware of your surroundings. A lot of us are often distracted because we're having conversations, we're paying attention to our cell phone, or we're doing things. Maybe we're getting groceries out of our car. There's a lot of things that distract us in our daily activities, and criminals will take advantage of that because you're not paying attention, and they use that opportunity to grab your phone or your wallet or your purse or your jewelry. And so that was one component that we speak about in the video. We also talk about not letting anybody get too close to us. We had earlier in the year and towards the beginning of summer, some instances where somebody would use a ruse. So they would tell somebody a story. They would say, hey, my car ran out of gas and I need some gas money, and they'd engage you in a conversation. They'd want to sell you a piece of jewelry so that way you could give them gas money. And what they were doing is they would put this fake necklace on the victim, and then when the person refused, they would say, okay, never mind. And then they would take that person's real necklace off, leaving the fake one on the person, and people wouldn't notice it until later. And so that's one of the things that we talk about in that public safety announcement, is not allowing somebody to get too close to us or to touch us, even if it seems friendly. Another thing we talk about in that video is walking together. Oftentimes people are targeted when they're by themselves and it looks vulnerable. But if we walk with somebody else and we're being observant, we really minimize the opportunities that a criminal can have to take advantage of. We talk about jewelry and how that attracts criminals. A lot of us own nice necklaces or nice bracelets, and we want to show the world, like, look at this. It might be a gift from a family member, and we want people to see that. But jewelry can also attract somebody to you. If they see a shiny necklace on your neck, they may be enticed to go and speak to you or go try to take that from you. So if you're in an environment where you're just going for a walk, it might be better suited to tuck the jewelry into your clothes, still have it if you want, but not make it as visible, which also helps decrease the chances of you becoming a victim. We also talked in that video about resisting. the reality of it is nobody wants their property stolen. Nobody wants their purse taken or their necklace taken. But at the end of the day, personal safety is the most important, and property can be replaced, but lives cannot. So if you are, accosted by somebody, just be mindful of that. If you make the choice to resist, that oftentimes these crimes of opportunity where somebody's taking property from another individual, they don't result in much physical injury to people. But if we resist, then it does increase the potential of that happening. So it is something to be aware of that we talked about in that video. And then lastly, reporting suspicious activity. We do see in Milpitas, oftentimes people say, hey, about 15 minutes ago, I saw this person and they were acting kind of odd. Well, 15 minutes is a long time. And by the time the officer gets there, those people are often gone. And so we really encourage people, if you see something that doesn't sit right with you, just call us right away. We would much rather go there and find out that there's not much to it than have that delay and then find out that we had an opportunity to stop a crime from happening. So if you guys are ever out and anybody that you speak to, if they ever ask you about it, call us. It's no bother. If you're not sure, call 911. We have professionals in the dispatch center that can make sure that you get the right services. And we're not worried if it's an emergency or not. Just call us. We'll get there. We'll take care of it. The last piece that I want to touch on is the schools all went back to school here earlier this month. So we are seeing a lot more traffic out on our streets and pedestrians. Our traffic safety unit was being very proactive in the weeks leading up to school, because we wanted to remind drivers they've been out for 16 months or so with not a lot of kids out and not a lot of pedestrians. So we were seeing speeding and stop sign violations. And so we wanted to make sure that we were reminding people about those traffic safety laws, especially with all the kids coming back to school. So we did a lot of that. Some of the things that we also did with our enforcement were pedestrian operations, where we had a police officer walking on the crosswalks, and we were enforcing the people that were not stopping for the pedestrians. We actually did one of the operations in front of the senior center, because we know that a lot of folks use that crosswalk from the other side of Beresford to come to the center. And so that is one area that we specifically did an operation. We will do more of those as we move towards October. We have a couple planned in September. And then we also have seen an increase in driving under the influence of alcohol cases. So we're going to be paying a lot more attention to those, and then also be doing some DUI checkpoints in October. We currently have, going back to schools, and this is the last thing I'll mention, and then I'll open it up for any questions, is our crossing guard program. We're actively recruiting for crossing guards. So if you know anybody that might be interested in that program, we'll be putting out some information later today or tomorrow about that. We have about 4 vacancies that we're trying to fill. So that pretty much closes it out for the police department. If there's any questions that anybody has, I'm here to answer them. And
thank you very much, Chief. I know I appreciate the next door comments that's been put on there by you and your officers. So thank you. Anybody have any other questions for the chief? Yeah, Councilman Chua?
Oh, I think BJ goes first.
BJ, okay. BJ?
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Chief, I live on the corner of Jacqueline and Hillview. You know that intersection is very busy. And now that school has started, it's even busier. It looks like it did before the pandemic. There is a no right turn sign. It says no right turn between the hours of 7 and 8 p.m. on my street corner. And I'm well aware that the school district has changed their hours of operation now for the schools. And I would very much appreciate it if you could take a look at that intersection and see if that sign is still appropriate, or if it needs to be modified. And if so, then to observe the folks that are turning right at that corner, because I have a heck of a time getting out of my driveway.
So we have people that are making the illegal right turn at that intersection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely take a look at that, and we could also work with the traffic engineers to see if there's a modification needed for the intersection there.
Yeah, and I know that that is a busy intersection for kids that are walking to school too. I see a lot of walkers coming that way, and so it's really important,
Absolutely.
in my opinion. Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Councilmember Chua?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to thank Chief Jared because I asked this PSA, the public service announcement, just a couple of weeks ago, and lo and behold, he's got it already out there on Facebook and all the social media. Thank you, Chief, for doing that. I also want to commend the Chief because he's doing a lot of outreach. They're doing coffee with the cops, with donuts and coffee, and they started doing that last month, right? And they'll continue to do that. One of the things that I asked Chief to do is maybe on a quarterly basis be present at the farmers market, because there's a lot of residents there. So that's good too. And also want to commend the beginning of August, we had a neighborhood watch at Strickroth Park, and we had 3 officers there, and we had about 25 to 30 residents. It was really good. They got together, and everybody knows what the neighborhood watch is, and they're gonna try to communicate with one another, look out for each other. It's really a neighborhood effort. So if you have a neighborhood that has a neighborhood watch or does not have one, please contact I think Officer Jason, Sergeant Jason, or Officer Mock, any of those, or even Chief Jared, because it's really important at this time and any time to be close to your neighbor, know your neighbors. Like Chief Jared said, 15 minutes is a long time. You have to be out, you have to call them right away. Thank you, Chair, and thanks everybody. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
John, you have a question?
Yeah, Chief Fernandez, I'll be retiring in, Emery, when am I retiring? 8 years? That's my dream job, is to be a crossing guard. So if you could hold one of those spots for me, I'm going to retire and be a crossing guard.
We got you, John. We also
All right.
have officer positions open and dispatch positions open too. So come on down.
Can you say one for me too, Chief? I'll be retiring in 12 years.
Absolutely. I'll put both your names on a position. No problem.
We'll do it together, Councilman.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you so much, Chief.
Velda, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, hey. Oh, hi, this is Jenny.
Yeah.
Sorry, having some technical difficulty. Just a quick question about if the officer can repeat the phone number for non-emergency report, that would be great. The officer came to a National Night Out and announced it. I thought it would be good to everybody to have that phone number handy.
Absolutely. So the non-emergency phone number is 408-586-2400. And I also included it in the chat for those folks that can see the chat. So again, it's 408-586-2400.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to new business. The Senior Center Welcome Back event is on Saturday, September 18th. And John Macon and the Recreation Services Supervisor and Anne Marie, Program Coordinator. So the background is the Senior Center is slated to reopen on Monday, August 30th. A Welcome Back event is planned for Saturday, the 16th of September from 9 to 12. To energize our Senior Center membership and introduce the various activities programs that will be offered at the Barbara Lee Senior Center this fall. This activity will run simultaneously to previous open house events, incorporating the Senior Advisory Commission in its implementation. So this is our opportunity as a commission to introduce to the community our whole purpose and the activities. And so we're hoping to do some tours and guides. John, did you want to say anything else to that?
Yeah, just to add to that, Chair, it is very similar. I think our last open house was January, so a couple months before we closed due to COVID, and it was very successful. And I think I believe it was our second open house event, and it was different from the resource fair in that it was a lot of interactive activities. As you mentioned, we did tours. And it really kind of focused on those community members who were not familiar with our senior center. And we actually hosted that event similar to this one on a Saturday so that we could attract those community members who maybe otherwise couldn't see the senior center during the week if they were working or just had other obligations. I believe our last one, we had close to 100 participants. And a good portion of those that following week actually signed up, became members, and joined our lunch program. So it was very successful. So this event is kind of a dual purpose to kind of take on the feeling of what that open house represented to kind of re-energize our membership, but then also introduce our services to those community members who otherwise would know we're here. So we'd like to use that same positive formula from the open house, but it'll be scaled back a little bit. We're certainly taking, just the considerations of not being too crowded and having certainly a number of different activities to keep people engaged, but also being cognizant of just being open a couple weeks and trying to work through kind of this post-pandemic as we work through this period of time. We've shortened the hours a little bit. I believe previously it was 4 hours. This one will be 3 hours and have similar activities such as a demo, Zumba. We'll have condensed kind of fitness orientations or exposure to our fitness center. We're looking to have our art instructor participating in the back area so people can see what that looks like. Melba, I think your group is going to be maybe doing some quilting.
Yes.
So I think it'd be a real good sample of what our day-to-day operation is, and again, really trying to attract those community members who otherwise wouldn't know we're here, and with the thought of growing our membership.
Anne Marie, did you have anything else?
Actually wanted to add in that during that day, I know the past couple of times we weren't able to accept membership or to update membership. So we will be allowing for that on that day for Saturday. So whoever comes in that day will have that ability to join right away and start their membership that day. And then hopefully the following week, we will see them joining classes and any activities that we may have. And then also we will probably have Jennifer do some type of either food prep or activity for all of the community members to partake. And usually that is pretty successful. And we're excited to see people come in through the building. But things will be changing, but I will be updating you all of that in the next section.
We're certainly excited to everyone to see the Denny Wise Gerber Auditorium and just what Jennifer in particular, what she's created in that space. It's so welcoming, and we're very proud of that. So at this point, I'd like to, Chair, solicit some interest from the commission in actually the implementation of that event. last time we had, I think we did tours in groups of 2. So we did those in tandem. They were very successful. I believe we had at least 4 or 6 commissioners who participated the day of, helping us lead those tours. And I know this is, Deborah mentioned this before too, that any opportunity where the commissioners can really, identify themselves as, as that role and their advocacy for seniors, I think is valuable to our community. So this is a great opportunity to do that. So, I thought we could either make that determination now, or commissioners can reach out to Anne Marie or myself in the next couple days as far as their ability to attend on that day. Again, that's Saturday, September 18th from 9 to 12. We would probably do 2 shifts. So we'd probably do an early, like an 8:30 to 10, and then or 8:30 to 10:30, and then like a 10:30 to 12:30. So people can help, commissioners can help, before we open, and then those who would help us kind of close down the event. So it'd be a 2-hour commitment. If for some reason you do have, and I think the strength of this commission is how engaged, the group is and working collectively and together. So we are hoping this is a collective effort. If there is a conflict on that particular day, I think certainly we can find some tasks as far as helping us promote the event and getting the word out.
Thank you. Deborah, you had a question?
Yes, I'd like to stress to everyone that we really, really, really need full participation on this as much as possible. Everybody has something to offer, whether it's interpreting, doing a tour, just helping out with anything you can, but we try to have full participation from everyone. We're all a team.
Yes.
Yep, I sign up now. Okay.
Yes.
8:30 to 10:30 is shift.
Okay.
All right.
18th
Yeah, everybody
of
has to
September.
participate. Yes.
Yep, I'm gonna write down on my palm.
Donna and Karen also?
Yeah, I'll do the 10 to 12.
Okay, Karen, you're on mute. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
And Chair Holiday, BJ has had her hand up. She has a question, and so does Jenny.
Okay. Jenny, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really a wonderful idea to do the open house. And I know last time, like Dawn mentioned, there were 100 participants. That's great. But in lieu of the Delta variant rising, my concern is how do we make sure that at least the commissioner are safe and the participants are safe? Mask requirement, vaccination requirement, or how many indoor and outdoor, and basically also we will need crowd control. How many people can be in that room for the activities if it is indoor? That's my concern.
Yes, I do believe there'll be sanitizer all over the place for us to use, and naturally our masks. And John and Anne Marie, what about how many?
Yeah, certainly. I think that's an ever-present, consideration and sensitivity to that. So for one, masks are required to participate. So anyone inside the facility would be required to wear the mask. And I think, by doing the tours and kind of regulating the activities, we can, we could safeguard that by making sure there's not too many people in any one particular space. And the team, the staff here have already, factored that in and made those considerations. For instance, the activities in the auditorium with Jennifer would be, limited to small groups, and there would be, again, all those safeguards and considerations.
Okay, BJ, you had a question?
Yeah, I believe that the community band is now going to be practicing outside the community, the senior center, at 10 o'clock on Saturdays. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. I think it's a great idea to have them out there, maybe not on that patio, but maybe further by City Hall or whatever, and be playing music, and to let our conductor know that you're going to have it, because we can provide some music for the seniors. Plus, we would love to have more seniors in the community band. By the way, I'm a member of, okay?
Yes.
I bet you.
BJ, I think that's, we welcome that. We welcome
That's a
that
great
positive
idea.
energy, and we will
Yeah.
certainly work with, your director on that. And yeah, that would be
Yeah,
wonderful to
our-
look out the window and see our community band. So
Mhm.
that just adds to
And,
the value.
Jeff is, I think it's starting this Saturday, which is also dump day, unfortunately. So I'm
Yeah.
going to be late to rehearsal. Okay, unfortunately, because I've got a 10:15 dump time. And I think it starts at 10 this Saturday. So if you want to swing by,
Okay.
and it'll be the first rehearsal, and it's not a program. We're just sight reading music. But if Jeff knows that we're going to be doing something for the city, I'm sure he will put some marches in and some other pieces that are easy. We're trying to get the group back together, and we have restrictions as well. Okay. So check it out. Just saying.
Wow.
Where, BJ, where will you be at? Where's the band
We're
exactly?
supposed to be behind the senior center where we was doing
Oh.
Zumba, I think, in that
Okay.
patio area. That's where I think we're meeting on Saturday.
All right.
Okay.
That's what I
Oh,
think.
We'll
Okay.
check.
Okay. And then
Thank you.
bands, we're going to have all this influx of people, hopefully. I was thinking it would be a good idea if we would be doing a survey, an impromptu survey where people might write down things that they'd like to see at the senior center. I know we've done this through social media before, but in going to this wine outing that we had the other day, I found out that a lot of the seniors don't really read email and don't do social media. So sometimes doing it the old school way is probably a better way. So think about that. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. We need to move on. Thank you,
And
BJ.
then my
Uh,
last item is I'll sign up for the 8:30, and then I'll have to leave to play. But I'm hoping that you'll have some cheat sheets for the tours for us that are giving tours of what you want us to point out.
Yes, we will do a coordination here.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Councilmember Chua, you had a question?
Oh, yes. Also, that day is the National Cleanup Day. So I will swing by and make sure to attend.
Great.
And if you have a flyer, please, Anne Marie or John, please send it to me, to everybody, so we can share it on social media. And also one last thing, if there is a budget, because we want to focus on the commissioners, can we get a t-shirt for all the commissioners if we can? Because we want them to stand out, so people can reach out to them during the open day. So John, would you let us know, please?
I
Sure.
was also thinking about, we were talking about hats one year. So
T-shirt is nice because you can always wear it later.
right, yeah.
But it's all up to you guys.
Thank you. Willie,
Yeah, Melba,
yeah.
and I'm all for this open house or participation, etc. Have we had the logistic all planned out first?
Having a what?
The logistic, how does it work?
Yes, and I'm hoping that we can all get together at the center so that we can go through the logistics and see who goes where or what you want to do.
I think that's a great idea. Kind of have a rehearsal or a dry run.
Powwow.
Right.
Yep.
And
Wow, yes.
and,
Yeah, when
have
when
that
do you
cheat
think?
sheet and just certainly that so we're prepared, certainly.
Yeah, when do you think that will be done?
I'm, well, if we're supposed to be there 8:30, I don't know what else we have to do, but perhaps at 8:30 we all meet, and then we can go through the logistics and find out what a schedule is and who's doing what, etc.
And on the same day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or if I could recommend, Chair, maybe that week prior, or
Okay.
the week of, maybe we could find a midweek, a Wednesday, Thursday, maybe when we close at 5.
Okay.
We
Oh,
could-
Yeah,
Yeah, probably in a half hour, so we could probably go through, a real good dry run and
Okay.
feel comfortable and confident. So
okay.
Yes.
So
maybe
you'll
we'll kind of target that Wednesday or Thursday, but we'll, Anne Marie and I will be in touch.
Okay.
yeah,
Great
that'd be
idea.
better.
Yeah.
Nona, you had a question?
Yeah,
If we
just
can
an
leave-
idea, maybe we should have like a raffles, because some attendees, they get excited and they have something
Ooh,
like a gift
Yeah.
raffle, something like that. We
that's
did-
a good idea.
Anne Marie, I'm don't mean to step on your
Anne-Marie.
toes, Anne Marie. We actually considered that. We had that for our last open house.
Yes.
I think in our item 2 here on the agenda, we'll talk about an October event.
Okay.
And we're thinking about having a raffle and some prizes for that. But possibly not for this initial one, and just so we don't have groups gathering and just in consideration of kind of where we are in relation to when we're just opening. But certainly I think previously I think that was very successful. In fact, I think Jenny, I think you were the host of one of the raffles.
Yeah. And
yes, I did.
Jenny was.
I
So
did some
maybe
translation there.
just a small gift
But,
attending
mhm.
would be, appreciative.
So I have a suggestion. If we're concerned about budgets, maybe commissioner can come up with something, make something simple.
Well, one thing,
Uh,
for one, I think Jennifer will probably have goodie bags. She's famous for her goodie bags. And I think it'll have,
yeah.
especially for those who are new to the senior center, our lunch program menu. It'll have our newsletter. We're probably going to put in there. So there'll be some swag in there. There'll be our new lanyard. So they're certainly getting some gifts, and they'll go away with probably some treats as well.
Yeah, my concern is that if we do this open house, we should have a log of who enter the house with their contact. Should there be a COVID case found, we need to need to be notified. This is in lieu of the recent event at the city council where we all attended, and then we got a bit of a scare. I spent 2 hours waiting, even with an appointment, to do a COVID test outside the Great Mall.
Jenny,
I
are you
spent 2
asking
hours.
if we will track who will be at the event?
Yes,
Yes,
this is my
we will have-
suggestion. So if
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone will be there. There will be a tracking of everyone who enters the facility.
And will you be providing the mask for the commissioner, or we just wear whatever mask we want to wear? Is there any official mask?
You can wear your own mask, but if you feel comfortable enough, and if we have enough KN95s, we can provide those for you also.
Yeah,
We could provide those.
For an hour or so, N95 is preferable. Longer term, it's difficult to breathe. But yeah, I think that would be the best if you can.
Okay, thank you. With that, let's see if we can come to agreement with the recommendation to receive the outline from staff and determine how the Senior Advisory Commission can best partner in the event and to ensure its success, and assign roles and responsibilities and discuss pre-planning and pre-preparations needed beforehand, so that we can all agree to commit to working this event. Can I have a motion to accept this?
I motion it.
Thank you, Willie.
I second.
Nona? Thank you. All agree?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? No. Motion carried. Thank you. Let's move on to the work plan. The Advisory Commission has identified 5 target areas. If you look at the work plan that was put out related to it targets the areas provide support and advocacy. Oh, thank you. to programs, activities, and events that align most positively to Milpitas Senior Community's needs. And during Senior Advisory Commission meetings, commissioners regularly assess what area or areas related to the work plan should be prioritized at that time and plan accordingly. So, Anne Marie, I'm going to hand this off to you.
Sure, thank you. But if I could just go back to our first order of business, it looks like we have a lot of events on September 18th. Would it be, I believe we're going to have to change the event to sometime in October. So if that would be all right with everyone, if we could move it to a date, and I will, John or I will send out a notice as to what date that will be.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
What are you talking about?
So
What's
for
changing?
the open house that we just discussed, it looks like there are a lot of events citywide that day. We are actually asking to move that open house to a later date in October.
That's okay with me as long as it doesn't mess up a calendar that I have. Yes.
Yes, so we'll look at everyone's
Maria.
schedule, and then I will get back to everyone about the open house.
Okay with me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Okay.
Well,
John, if you
I'm
wanted to add
retired, so
anything.
every day is good.
Okay, that gives us a little more time to get things together also, right?
Yeah, I think it sounds like we need more time for the safety protocol. I'm really concerned, with the recent event when I have to go through 2 hours to get tested, and I'm all scared.
So Anne Marie, you have something for the work plan?
For the work plan, yes, actually. So the next thing that we want to do is actually scheduled for the end of October. I don't know if you remember, but last year we did a trunk full of resources, and it was a resource fair for the community for geared towards seniors and older adults who came and drove through and picked up information from the different local agencies that we partner with, and also some of the other agencies that are around and located in Bay Area. So we were hoping to do the same thing this year. Hopefully we can have it indoors. If not, it'll be another drive-through event on a Saturday. So if we could actually, I'd like to have everyone partake in that also, and perhaps create a small group to help us come up with a theme for the resource fair, and to help us maybe market it and other things like that, and maybe gather some other vendors or agencies that we think would be helpful or benefit to our community. So if we could go ahead, that's the recommendation is if we could have a working group and to help staff with this event at the end of October.
Okay.
John, was there anything that you wanted to add to that? I don't know if I missed anything.
No, I think just similar to the open house or welcome back event, it's, we're building on success of a previous activity. We like the idea of it being on a Saturday and a drive-through. That was just kind of a fun approach. As some people who may not have the time to come to an open house or welcome back event, that can make those plans to swing by and grab those resources. So it was really fun with the Halloween theme, and and I think with the support and extra hands available from the commission, I think we could broaden, even what we offered last year. I think quite a few. I think I know BJ came through, and Jenny and Barbara. Nona actually helped at the event.
Thank you.
So yeah, just kind of building on that, and we'd like to do at least once a year one of these type of events. We held 2 of the drive-throughs previously, and they were fun. So we think it's just another approach, another angle to get resources out to our community seniors.
Thank you. So can we do a recommendation to review the work plan topic advisory area number 1 regarding the upcoming resource? Is that the right one? Yeah. Fair in October, and discuss how the commission can work collectively to meet and work plan goal for the project area. So can I have a motion to accept this work plan for the resource fair, and hopefully have some commissioners commit to working it?
I make a motion to accept this, all of the above, what you just said. It was a long sentence.
I hope I got it all in there. Yes.
You got it in.
Yeah, all right. And there's a second. I can't see anybody's.
I can't see anybody either.
Yeah, that's because
That draft is up
the
there.
draft is up there on the.
Nova, I
I think you
second.
got Barbara
Nova,
Ebright.
this is Nona, I
No,
second.
okay, Nona, a second. Thank you, Nona. All in favor? You say hi, since I can't see your hand.
Hi.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you. Any opposed? Nope. Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Financial report. John?
I just want to let the group know, especially as we move into as we're into the new fiscal year and start to work through our work plan, that we have a balance in our holding account currently of $7,558.01. So possibly I could suggest we add that to the next agenda, as far as starting to give some consideration to how we might want to utilize some of that funding. And one item that we might want to talk about would be something similar to what we had 2 or 3 years back with that mental health and wellness series. And we contracted a service provider who led that series. I think there were 4 or 5 different sessions. But maybe just that we could consider that as an agenda item for next time, start to consider how we might want to use the funding to continue services to our seniors.
Oh, good. Staff report, Anne Marie.
Yes, thank you, everyone. So just a few things, not too many. Just want to remind everyone again that we will be opening on August 30th with the normal hours, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We will be phasing in programming, so not all of our drop-in programs and activities will be available, but most will, like the fitness center will still be available. We'll start quilting once again, Zumba by registration, oil painting. The game room will be open for table tennis and billiards. We'll have some of our other classes like conversation English, things like that will be available starting that week. And it'll be about the same times as they were before, but we will be putting that up with the update on the times and everything for all the classes. And then I also wanted to say that right now we actually are in a soft opening. So if you wanted to come in and update your membership, or if anyone doesn't have a membership yet, we are open from 9 to 12 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So if you want to just update your membership so that there's not a lot of people around, I would suggest doing that this week. You could also, oh, actually, I also wanted to remind everyone about the Senior Connection newsletter. It's now going to be emailed or mailed quarterly. If you want it emailed to you instead of a hard copy, please send either myself or the Senior Center an email so that I could add you onto the list. The email for the Senior Center, just in case, or if you have any questions, you could always send it to senior_center@ci.milpitas.ca.gov. I'll add it onto the chat in just a few moments. And I wanted to actually give you an update on our Google Home Smart devices, where we partnered with SourceWise, where they were donated these Google Home Smart speaker devices, and we were able to actually give out for free these devices to qualifying Milpitas residents who are age 60 and above. And there are some other qualifications to it. So if you haven't looked into it, please let me know, because we do still have some devices still available. We actually gave out 66 devices already. And we did that in a span of 2 weeks. So I would love to give out more, but it is limited supply. So if you don't have one, let me know. And then the last thing that I have for all of you is we are actually trying to host, for the first time ever, a inner city department resource fair. So I will be having the solid waste team, water conservation, fire, housing, and a lot of other departments available at the Senior Center on Friday, September 17th. It'll be from 4 to 6 p.m. If not all the departments will be there, they're either will give me information that we could hand out to you, and we'll have their contact numbers in case you had further questions. But a lot of them will be here and hosting a table. And once again, we will have it, if it's not inside, it will be outside in the Cesar Chavez Plaza or in the back patio of the Senior Center. But that is scheduled for September 17th.
Thank you.
That is all I have. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you. Councilman Chua, you have information for us?
Yes, yeah, Chair Melba, just to be in compliance with the Brown Act, can we open the public forum again so I can address the issue that Jenny brought up? If we can open the public forum, and if one of the commissioners can make a motion to that.
You have to refresh me. You're talking about the safety?
Yes, it's about the COVID safe place. What happened on Tuesday the 17th. But I can't speak to that without going to the public forum announcement because it's not on the agenda. So we need to open the public forum.
So I need to refer that to John?
No, one of the commissioners can open the public forum and then approved by the rest of the seconded and then voted by the rest of the commission. If somebody opened the public forum, that would be good.
Okay,
if it wasn't on the agenda, I'm not sure the protocol for that, John.
Yes, I already spoke with our legal counsel, Christy, yes, and I can speak about it as long as I speak on it in the public forum.
Oh.
So we'll just open the public forum briefly.
Yeah. Councilman Chua, we don't understand what it means by public forum. Is that open another channel?
Oh no, it's remember on your agenda there's a public comments.
Oh, I
we just need to open that up again.
Oh.
I think Vice Chair is trying to make a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to reopen that subject of the public forum, if it's possible. Can I, John, can we do that, John?
We can't hear you,
John.
We can't hear you, John.
Muted.
You're not heard, John.
John
Yes,
is
you can. You can do that.
I'm sorry, boy, I had a lot of great words there. Yeah, I will defer to, Councilmember Chua and Deputy City Manager Rossman on that. So Chair Holliday, we would just be going back to the beginning of the agenda and reopening the public forum portion of the agenda
Oh,
and having a motion and a second and approval for that.
Okay, I'll second.
thank you. Did Deborah?
I did
You did
twice.
first?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All in agree for the motion for the. I'm sorry. I'm
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Melba. You're doing fine.
You're doing awesome.
talk about the health safety. Is that correct?
It's about the COVID
COVID. Yeah.
thing.
And I would, if I could, I just would like to remind that we can't speak as a commission, we can't speak to that. But we could hear that, I believe it's 3 minutes and our IS person, Mr. Schwartz can do the timer if.
Right. As long as there's no discussion, it's just like an announcement for me.
Okay.
And it's gonna be less than. I just want to address the incident on Tuesday, August 17th at the council meeting, when I found out later on I was exposed to someone when I attended the fundraising. I was exposed to someone who was COVID positive. So I recently did a lot of I'm negative, COVID negative. I got tested multiple times and I'm COVID negative. I feel fine. I have no symptoms. Actually, I saw Nona yesterday when I had another test at the Milpitas Community Center. I just want to thank everyone that was there at the meeting. It was really good and it was really celebratory to award those recipients, those volunteers. And I just want to Jenny's concern, I just want to apologize to any concerns or anything that could have caused that incident, and just do whatever is needed, get tested, and whatever the CDC and the county and the state and federal suggest, do them at your own discretion, of course. And actually, I've been doing a lot of research, and CDC even states that for fully vaccinated individuals, there's no need to do isolation. But my personal choice, I'm doing isolation just to be careful. And so I feel great. My last day of isolation is Thursday. So I'll be back on Zumba and everything else that I love to do in the community. And thank you all so very much and really appreciate you. That's the end of the,
thank you. And I'm sorry that I was confused on the process here.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great, Chair.
John?
Yeah, Chair Holliday, and I'd like to, again, if possible, defer to Deputy City Manager Rossman. Since we went back to the public forum, I notice we do have an attendee who has his hand up. Would we open that up for 3 minutes for that person to speak?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And I'm gonna, I believe it's Urvish Kumar Mehta. Mr. Mehta, I'm gonna allow to talk for 3 minutes. Mr. Mehta, would you like to speak during the public forum portion that we revisited? I see a hand up. Maybe Mr. Mehta's wishing not to speak at this time.
Oh, he's asking to start the timer, John.
What?
Mr. Mehta put in a request to start the timer. So if we could have him start speaking.
Okay.
Audible. Thank you
Go
very
ahead.
much to the Milpitas City Council, Senior Advisory Commission, as well as all the community members. What I wanted to bring it to all the community members is to allow and to understand what it takes to implement and build the democratic values within the city of Milpitas, and as well as for the city council members. Secondly, as a senior advisory community commission, what is even more important is to understand that how the democratic values change and differs senior community advisory commissions adherence within the city council, as well as within the city of Milpitas, as well as towards the implementation of a law within the city of Milpitas. If any city council member who is a military person or a veteran or representing any specific community services or being part of a law enforcement agency, what is required to be ensured is that person adheres the democratic values and as well as implement the civilian law enforcement and order within the city. As a part of a fiscal year 2021 and 2022, I request the Senior Community Advisory Commission to implement the plan for the Senior Advisory Community Commission to be engaged in every democratic process that includes the impeachment as well as respective articles, implementation, Assembly Bill, Senate Bill implementation, COVID-19 Bill implementation, American Rescue Plan implementation within the city of Milpitas. Also, the President's executive orders. As a public speaker and as well as the Commissioner of City of Milpitas, I wanted to ensure that they understand what it takes for a council person to implement the law within the city. Anything that is in the violation of a law or within the ethics code of conduct, the Senior Advisory Community Commission is to take the right steps and actions against those violations, and as well as be the counseling and the defensive body of the city of Milpitas to take the right step of action in order to implement the better law enforcement within the city, as well as implement the memorandums to implement the international relations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All as the members of the public, they're limited to the comment agenda and one comment for non-agenda items. The online written comment from previous used is no longer available for public comment. The other thing is we cannot comment on this as a commission at the moment, but we will take it into consideration. Thank you. So Council Member Chua, you have any other?
On the last council member liaison report, I just want to let everybody know that I made a recommendation to the city council to add to open senior center on Saturdays for half day. So they're gonna look into that and give us some ideas how much it will cost, what it's involved. So the reason why I initiated this request is because I want to open it up to other seniors who are not available during weekdays there are seniors who are taking care of their grandchildren, babysitting the grandchildren, or they're working. This is another way to attract more seniors that don't regularly go to our center, to our senior center. So we'll see, and the staff will present the plan or the statement or whatever the study will show. We'll present it to the city council, and I will update everybody. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to do. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Jenny, you have anything on the age friendly? Are you still there, Jenny?
Oh, yeah, yes, I'm still here. Not much. I'll be attending a training tonight on the dementia front, so I will have some report next time.
Oh, all righty. Thank you very much.
And
go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah. I have Councilwoman Montana talked to me about the dementia, and I mentioned that if the council members, if all the city council member would do the dementia friend, I'll be happy to present it to them. So maybe Councilwoman Chua, if you could if you could get all the council members together, and then we can proceed with that. It will take about really just 10 minutes to do the dementia friend training.
Thank you, Jenny. Future agenda items. John, do we have anything?
Yeah, just we'll continue to work through the work plan. I like the idea of us kind of chipping away at all those projects throughout the year, and if we can get ahead of that, similar to today, we're planning the October event, and maybe just if we could discuss the holding account and any projects we want to possibly utilize funding towards next year, we could add that to the agenda.
Okay, all right, thank you. With that, it looks like we've reached the end, so I will adjourn the meeting August 24th at 2:38 p.m. and hopefully we'll see you in October. Deborah, you have a question?
I have one final thing.
Yes.
Tomorrow is Willie's birthday.
Oh,
can we say happy birthday to Willie?
Happy birthday, Willie.
Happy birthday, Willie.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Willie.
Enjoy your day.
I thought you forgot.
No, not me. You know better.
Happy birthday, Commissioner Willie.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good day. We'll see you next
Thank you,
time.
Melba.
Bye,
All right.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.